George Zimmerman, who was cleared of all charges in the Trayvon Martin shooting death, has turned up in North Texas. Forney police just released dashcam video of Zimmerman being pulled over for a traffic stop. First in Fox 4 News, Phil Alvarado in Forney. You've got that video.
That's right, Clarice. You know, Forney police still insist that this was just a routine traffic stop, even though they know now that they pulled over George Zimmerman. Police say because it's routine, they won't even tell us the name of the officer who made the stop, even though that is a public record. Another thing is they did tell us that he was pulled over on a highway where the speed limit is 60 miles per hour. But again, they won't say how much he was speeding. It wasn't long before the Forney officer realized he had pulled over the George Zimmerman, a man who has been trying to keep a low profile since he was acquitted in the Trayvon Martin murder trial. He was pulled over for speeding in Forney, about 25 miles east of Dallas. He told the officer he had a gun in the dash, legal in Texas. The officer asked Zimmerman where he was going. Zimmerman said nowhere in particular. The officer tells Zimmerman if he has no warrant, then he should be good to go with only a verbal warning.
The reason you're stopped is for your speed, okay? Why don't you slow down a little bit for me? And as long as you don't have any warrants, you cut loose with a warning.
Soon after the Trayvon Martin trial, Zimmerman surfaced in public when he made a rescue out of a burning car, but that was still in his neighborhood. This is the first time that we know of that he's been seen out of state, and of course nobody ever expected him to show up in Texas. And of course that raised other questions, is could he be living in the area? We have talked to his defense attorney's office, and the statement that they give us is that they're not going to comment at all about his whereabouts and are going to do everything to keep his privacy. Clarice?
Phil, at what point did the officer know that was the George Zimmerman, and what else was discussed between the two of them?
Well, you know, one of the things, I don't know if you heard it in the audio there, but one of the things that the officer tells Zimmerman is to, because, you know, he's headed back to his car at this point, he tells Zimmerman to go ahead and close the dash and not to play around with his gun. He also, in relation to your initial question, it looks like the officer was pretty sure that that was the George Zimmerman within a few seconds after he made the call. Now, one of the things that you hear in the video also is the dispatcher telling the officer that those license plates go back to Florida and that the plates, the vehicle comes back to Zimmerman.
And Phil, at one point, did Zimmerman say something like, "Do you know who I am? Don't you know who I am?"
You know, that's not real clear in there, but I think he let the officer know who he was dealing with. I don't know what words he used exactly, but I think, again, Zimmerman was trying to be as transparent as he could. You know, he had been pulled over. You even see him in the video. I don't know if it's the part that you've seen, but it seems that after he passed the officer, Zimmerman seemed to anticipate that he was going to be pulled over. Apparently, he knew that he was probably going over the speed limit. And he actually starts to pull over long before the officer begins to pull out of his stopping point and give chase.
All right, Phil Alvarado live in Forney. Thank you. Now, to give you an idea of the concern among George Zimmerman's family, his brother sent out this statement today saying, quote, "Our family receives innumerable death threats on a daily basis. We all continue to take our security and privacy very seriously and go to great lengths to ensure our safety in accordance with the law."